You.
Good, thank you.
I was thinking about you this morning.
Why?
Yeah, so I was walking the dogs, and all of these runners were running right by my house at about 6 o'clock this morning, and I thought, "Oh, is that Carmen? Who is that?" But you said,
Probably I was sleeping because today I was very tired this morning and I woke up maybe at 6:40 and my daughter in bus is is her stop is at 6:42.
"Oh my goodness, man! I forgot how early the bus comes." Yeah,
Yes. And she asked my husband to give her a ride to her
yeah,
school. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I can tell. I can feel the energy from. I see runners now everywhere, just getting ready. So
And here in my neighborhood is the same. Every
yeah.
day, every hour,
Hmm.
a lot of people are running.
So usually what I do is I have my my cup of coffee. I'm looking out the window, and I thought, oh, that looks really that looks really hard, and then just sit down and read a book or something.
It's me.
That's you too, huh, Zelia?
Sure.
Well, I was telling Carmen this morning. I was thinking about her because on Dixie Highway, I'm right next to the highway, and of course, I mean, for the last I don't know 3 months, it's been runners, runners, runners. But for the last week, it's like the Boston Marathon. People just running, and I see them all the time. So this morning, when I was walking my dogs, I looked out there and I saw a whole bunch of runners pass by, and I thought, "Is that Carmen? Who is that over there?" So Carmen said, "No." So I said, "That's okay. I feel energized when I'm drinking my coffee and I see all the runners on the street." So
Yeah, it gives us energy.
that's
The other
right. Yes.
person.
And notice it gives me motivation, but not to exercise myself. It just gives me motivation to say good luck to Carmen. That's it. So
Yes.
that's it.
Yes.
The only motivation I have. So.
We can support you, Carmen.
All right, everyone. Let's do the absolute minimum support. So let's give her a big round of applause. There you go, with emojis. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna do. There you go. Well, actually, again, I think I told you I'm on Facebook, Instagram. Some of the people, some of my former students are going to run, and so one of my students has been posting, for the pig. They've been getting ready for it. So I think, yeah, I think hopefully it'll be good weather. I don't know. It's usually terrible weather, so hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah, yesterday was very hot
Mm,
in the afternoon.
yeah, so we'll see, but still, anyway.
Everybody says after running or walking 20 minutes like that, they say you are gonna feel better, more energetic like that. But it doesn't work for me.
I think it.
After running or walking somewhere,
I think
when
it
I
depends
when it,
on. I think it depends on where I'm going. If I actually have a destination, maybe. But if I'm just running to be in good shape, then no, of course not.
when I come back home, I feel so tired. I was like that. Oh my god! I spent so much energy. I have to
Yeah,
lay down, sleep
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Well, I ride. I've been riding my exercise bike, and I've been swimming. Those are things I do. But I cannot run. I cannot do it. It's just, yeah. I need. If I'm going to run, I need a destination. I need to go.
Somewhere.
Yeah. So, but anyway, okay. Anyway, hey guys, before we get started, our very, very first activity, you might need a piece of paper, just because in the exercise you might want to kind of keep track of words. I'll explain more in just a moment. So, if you would like to have a piece of paper and pencil, it's not necessary, I think, but I don't know. For me, when I'm doing activities, sometimes I like to see things on paper. So, if you want to have a pencil and paper ready. Again, I don't think it's necessary. And this is the first time I'm trying this activity here in our online class. As you know, it's a little difficult to do some of the things online that you could do in person. So I want to try to do some of the same things, but it's hard sometimes because we don't want students to feel like They need to download lots of apps. Now, I think we're going to make a few changes for next year, and I think we're going to require maybe a few more apps in the online program. I think it's becoming a little more necessary. It's hard just to use, the meeting program and then Burlington. So we'll probably add some other apps or programs soon. Okay, so not today. But anyway, if you want to have some paper and pencil ready, it might be helpful for our first activity. Okay, well, I think we'll go ahead and get started because today really we're really beginning the process of finishing our lesson and vocabulary for our lesson. So that's why I wanted to say this, because again, we're in May now. It's hard to believe we're in the month of May, and we're getting close to the end of our spring semester, starting to think about the summer, which again, we'll talk about the summer session maybe next week or in 2 weeks. Okay, so we're just about finished with our schedule. So all of that stuff will be ready to think about. So anyway, guys, welcome back. It is Thursday, so hopefully everyone is ready. Okay, now guys, today is our kind of a review. So we're going to kind of begin the process of finishing this lesson. And of course, our main goal, our main objective, vocabulary, right? We like to learn more words. We need to learn more words. So today is kind of beginning that process. So we're going to really spend most of our time today reviewing our new vocabulary words. So we're going to try something different. And that first activity there is going to be a crossword puzzle. So I'll explain how that's going to work here in just a moment. And then we're going to kind of do a few wrap-up activities. And then when we're finished, we're going to play a little game as our last activity to review vocabulary words. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so again, if you just joined us, you might need a piece of paper and pencil for this first activity, but let me go ahead and explain what we're going to do. All right, so in just a moment, I'm going to divide the class into some small groups, and you and a partner are going to review vocabulary by doing a crossword puzzle together. Now, usually when we do crossword puzzles, for example, in the classroom, I usually like to do them in different steps, okay? Because usually if I just gave you a list of words and a crossword puzzle, sometimes students can figure out how to fit words into spaces, and that doesn't really seem very challenging. So how can we do this in the online environment? Well, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it in 2 stages, okay? We're going to do it kind of in 2 steps. So in our first step, I'm going to give you a partial word list, but I'm not going to give you any hints. So I'm not going to give you any like parts of letters or words. So what you will see, so we're going to look at the screen here in just a moment, is a traditional crossword puzzle is when you have words that go up and down and words that go right to left, right? And so the idea is you get a clue, and then you have to figure out which word fits into the space if it answers that question. So I'm trying to make it a little more challenging without giving you all of the words that you're going to use. So I'm going to give you a partial word list first. And after that, I'm giving you no other hints. And I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. So after a few minutes, after you try and work together with your partner, so then I will come into your room and give you some additional help. Okay, I'll give you additional hints to help you. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about words from this lesson, words that we've been practicing and words that we've been reviewing. So I know it might be difficult because you may not remember all of the words from this chapter, but that's okay. That's why we kind of try this as a 2-step process. So step 1, I'll give you some help, but not a lot. And then step 2, I'll give you a little bit more help. Okay, that's how it works. And then after those few minutes, then we'll see who wins. So I will first say this. If you and your group get all of the words to the crossword puzzle, the first group who returns to the main room, so who is finished and can return to our main classroom, you guys will be the winners. Of course, you have to have the right words, right? But we do want everybody to try to finish the activity. So again, this is new. We're going to try it. We'll see how much time it takes, but we're not going to take more than 20 minutes, okay? You might say, Mr. John, I need more time. Well, we don't have all of the time in the world, so that's the key. That's how we're going to play this. Okay, now here is the first thing you and your partners are going to look at. So again, this is called a crossword puzzle. Crossword. Cross, of course, meaning like, intersection, crossing together like this. Okay? Now, over on the left side, you have some clues. You have clues to help you across and clues to help you up and down. Okay, like we said, in this case, think about it as top to bottom or so on. Okay, now I have given you already at the top, if you can see there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. Now there are 10 on the list, right? There are 10 total words, and I've given you 6 of them. What you and your partner have to decide is where do they fit based on the clues that you see here. So keep in mind, that means there are 4 of the words I have not given you any information about. So what you and your partner will do is to see if you can find where these 6 words go on the list. Now, how do you do that? Well, you look at the clues. Okay, so everyone look at the clues here. Now, let's do one of them together just so we're clear how it works. Okay, and again, the idea is I'm going to choose one where I know there's an answer. Okay, there's an answer up here on the top. All right, so everyone look at number 5 where it says 5 across. Does everyone see that? It says 5 across. Okay, now look at the clue, and then you have to fill in the missing word. So it says, having a college degree can give you more career something. Okay, now I will go ahead and help you with number 5. The answer is one of the choices up here at the top. Can someone identify what the answer is for number 5? Okay, Fatima, what do you think?
Options.
Okay, so Fatima said maybe it's options. Okay, so the idea is you go to space number 5. Okay, and like I said, this is where paper might help you. So if it's options, for example, let's put options in the box. Okay. And let's see if you're correct. So it looks like it fits, right? It also seems to satisfy the situation. So there you go, class. I've helped you, or Fatima has helped us with number 5. So that in this case would be options. Now, again, if you want to use a piece of paper and just put 5 options, that's good. But you notice it's helpful because, as you can see, the letters from the word options will help you with the other words on the screen. And remember, they may not be one of the words up here. They may be a different word from our list. Okay, now before we leave, remember, I'm going to give you a few minutes to practice with your partners first to see if you can find where these 6 words go. After that, I will come in and give you some more help after about 5 to 7 minutes. And remember, the first group who can return to the main room, who has all of the answers, you win. Now you might say, Mr. John, what do we win? Mr. John, what do we win? You win my respect. Okay, so congratulations. You'll win my respect. That's important. I know. I'm sure you think that's important. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I think Fatima's disappointed. She wants more. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and set up our rooms. And like I said, I will set the rooms up, and then I will join you. Okay. So it looks like we'll have maybe one group of 3. No. Okay, no, we'll actually have groups of 2. Okay, so we'll have groups of 2 for each one. Well, let's see. No, I think I'll change that. Let's do groups of 3. I think that'll be better. Okay. All right, so we'll have 2 groups of 3 and 1 group of 2, maybe. No, I tell you what, let's just do 2 groups. That'll be easier. We'll just do 2 groups of 4. I think we'll make that a little faster for us. Okay, so again, we'll go into the room. I will come in and share the link to the page. Give you about 5-7 minutes. Now, maybe one person, maybe you can decide one person with a piece of paper can write the words down on your piece of paper. So we've already done number 5, right? Number 5 was options. Okay, so you can write it here. So I'll give you, I've already written, there it is, number 5, options, right there it is. Okay, well, guys, let's go into the breakout rooms. And again, I will come in and join you in about 5.
We finished, Mr. John?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah.
For some reason, I got a message that said my mic wasn't working. So, all right, well, guys, let's hear your answers real quickly. Can you tell me?
Yes.
All right, so I'm
One,
gonna show them up here on the screen. Let's go through them. Okay, so 1,
one bottom,
okay,
2 promotion,
good,
3 succeed,
good,
4 hints,
good,
5 we already did options,
good,
and then 6 charge,
good,
7 predictable,
good,
8 eventually,
good,
9 explore,
good.
and then 10 industry.
Okay, I think you guys did it. Congratulations. So you win my respect. There you go.
We did it, group.
I'm sure you'll sleep well tonight,
Yeah, yeah.
knowing you have my respect. All right, so I see the other group is joining us now. I'm going to go ahead and close the rooms. All right, so everyone will be back in about 29 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to put the answers on the screen just again so we can all see them here. And it's kind of hard. I couldn't type them. So, all right. Okay, so I think everyone should be returning now. Okay, well, first off, congratulations to Zaliha, Brenda, I think Vladimir, and Carmen. Was that the group?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so they won, guys. So sorry. I know, Miriam, I saw you come in right at the last minute, but they got all the answers.
It's my first time to try go back.
Really? First time to try the crossword. Okay. All right. Well, I think you probably got the same answers, but I'm going to go ahead and put the answers really quickly on the screen. So again, number 1 was bottom, 2 promotion, 3 was succeed, 4 was hands. Okay. 5 we already talked about, options. 6 charge, so in charge of. Okay. 7 is predictable, so that'll take me a few minutes to write. So it's really hard to do it by writing. So predictable. 8 was eventually. So I heard, actually, I was listening to your groups when I came in, and I think both groups were actually on number 8 at the same time. So eventually. 9 was explore, and 10 was industry. Okay, so so Miriam, Floor, did you guys get all the words?
Yes, we did.
Okay, well, guess
Yes,
what?
teacher.
Okay, well, guess what? I have lots of respect, so I can share my respect to your group too. So
We need
congratulations. You need
We need
ice cream? Is that what you said? You need ice cream?
Ice
Is that-
cream, and I mean broccoli dipped in ice cream.
Well, okay, you're welcome to the broccoli dip tonight. You can have it, okay? You can have all of the, I'll give it all to you right now, okay? No, what I was going to say, Fatima, is you can have all the ice cream that's in your refrigerator, okay? So congratulations. So, all right. Okay. Well, guys, first off, I hope I hope this was at least a good start for our activity. You guys actually were faster than I thought, so congratulations to both groups. You guys came in faster than I was thinking. So excellent. All right, it's hard to do crossword puzzles online, isn't it? Unless we can share the same app. So that's what I was talking about at the beginning of class. Sometimes it's hard to do things without using apps here. So. Okay, well, guys, so far we're off to, I think, a great start. Now, again, our goal in this session was to try to learn more vocabulary words. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Now, in just a moment, we're going to return to the breakout room, and we're going to do another activity related to our vocabulary. So I'm going to explain this this particular exercise here in just a moment. But first, what I would like to do is let's return to the vocabulary list. This was the list of vocabulary words that we were exploring. Right, so there's our word explore from our class from a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to bring it up here on the screen. So again, when we were doing this activity, we did not fill out the idioms, part. So what I'd like to do before we move on is let's see if we can remember what the last three expressions mean. So let me erase a little bit here since we were working on this. It's kind of cluttered. And the idea is we can share this document. And of course, we've learned a lot. We've added some new ideas to some of these words as we've continued on. But let's take a moment and look at the last part here where it says vocabulary focus. Now, these we're talking about those idiomatic expressions that we were learning. So, for example, let's take a look at these three ideas here. Experience something firsthand, get out of hand, and have your hands full. So, class, let's just again see what we remember about these three expressions. So, let's start with the first one, to experience something firsthand. Anyone remember what this expression meant? What does it mean when we experience something firsthand? Anyone remember? Okay, Zaliha, let's see, you go first.
Making or trying to do something without any help.
Yeah, so basically,
First time trying, or first time experience.
okay, well now let's be clear. It's not about the first time doing it. I think you were closer in the beginning of your description. So can you repeat the beginning part again? To experience something without help.
To do something, without help.
Okay, yeah, basically to do something directly. So the idea when we experience something firsthand is we're experiencing it ourselves, right?
Yes.
So in this case, when we experience something firsthand, we experience something directly, right? So that's what firsthand means. It means that we don't use someone else to explain, or we do it ourselves. So can someone remember a couple of examples of things that we've experienced firsthand? What would be some examples of things we've experienced firsthand? Carmen?
When you went to see the eclipse.
That's right. Now, did you experience it firsthand, Carmen, or did you just stay inside?
I was inside because I don't had my special classes.
That's good. Okay, good. Yeah, we want to experience it firsthand, but we also want to experience it again. So if you don't have your glasses, don't look at it, because yes, people make that mistake. Okay. Now, but Carmen, you're about to experience something firsthand this weekend. What is it?
My race.
That's right. Now, everyone, first off, let's give Carmen a big round of applause. Everybody, let's clap for Carmen. Let's try to give Carmen some encouragement and motivation. She's going to run the Pig Marathon, the 10K first. So she's going to experience it firsthand. Okay, so Carmen, I will experience it secondhand from you. Okay, so I will watch you from a good distance. Okay, I'll be in my living room. Maybe I'll turn on the TV. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. So notice what I said, secondhand. Secondhand means not directly. Now, that's a good moment to talk about. Do you remember we were talking about, I don't remember when, but we were talking about when we buy clothes secondhand. Have you heard of, we talked about this, I think, before. There we go. For some reason, I won't do it in dark. There we go. Yeah, so for example, secondhand means that you are not the first person to experience it. So for example, we mentioned that a lot of stores sell clothing secondhand. So we said, for example, some of you might remember thrift stores like Goodwill. So, for example, we would call those secondhand stores. All right. Now, real quickly, class, before we move on to the next expression, did anyone here in the class? Does anyone here in the class have like any older brothers and sisters? Do we have any older brothers and sisters? Yeah. Okay. So, Brenda, did you get clothes secondhand from your brothers and sisters?
Oh yeah, for my sister when we are kids.
So after she was finished with it, you got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now, was that true of most of your clothes?
I'm sorry.
Was that true of most of your clothes? Were they
Uh,
from your older brothers and sisters?
uh, yeah, I think.
Did you like that, or did you like, that's not fair? I want my new clothes. I want.
Uh, I think I like more when my mom buy me something for me, like
Yeah.
my size.
Yeah.
Sometimes my older's clothing was a little bit big, and well, sometimes we need to try to put something for make a little bit more short. Or
Yeah. You had to make changes, right?
yeah, exactly.
Alterations. Yes. Well, at least you were lucky that your mom would do that. Sometimes they don't change them at all, right?
Yeah.
They just give you the clothes, and you're like, you got a shirt that's too long,
Yes.
pants that are too short. Yeah. By the way, we have another word for this too, guys. These are called hand-me-downs. Hand-me-downs. So speaking of the word hand, we use this expression for clothing or for anything that maybe older brothers and sisters give to us. So we call them hand-me-downs. So in this case, poor Brenda had hand-me-down clothes, right? Okay. Yeah, so often hand-me-down clothes are clothes that we would get from our older brothers and sisters. So was there anybody else in the class who had hand-me-downs from their brothers and sisters? Anybody else? Yeah, Carmen. Okay. Yeah, Flora, you too. What about did you ever have hand-me-down shoes? Did anybody ever have hand-me-down shoes? Yeah. Were they the same size, Carmen, or?
No, I look like a clown.
Yeah, that's exactly the word I was going to say. You know, what's funny, Carmen, is my father had some clothes and he gave them to me. Like, he's like, "Oh, John, I think you would love these clothes." Well, my father is like 4 inches taller than I am,
Oh,
and my feet are like this big, and his feet are this big. So he had a pair of, basketball shoes, tennis shoes. And he goes, "Here, John, why don't you try them?" Well, I felt like Ronald McDonald from McDonald's. My foot would always go flip, 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 flip like this. Is that how your shoes were? Flip, flip.
yes.
Yeah. That's embarrassing, man. So, okay. Well, we're not the only ones. I see other people are saying the same thing. Okay. Well, but let's be honest. Come on. So it's cheaper that way, right? Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. So, yes, when we experience something firsthand, it means directly. Secondhand means from somebody else, right? So we're going to experience the race secondhand from Carmen. She's going to tell us what's going to happen, and then we'll listen. And then hand-me-downs are things that people give us that they don't use anymore. So maybe hand-me-down clothing, for example, hand-me-down. Could be anything, really. Things that are, but we can still use them, right? We can still use them. All right. What about the next one? Get out. Okay, Fatima, go ahead. Yeah. Go, if Fatima, you were going to say something.
I'm sorry. Do we say he hand me down his clothes or he give me hand me down? I'm just confused.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's better to use it as a describing word. So he gave me his hand-me-down clothes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. That sounds a little. Yeah. If you said he handed me down, it sounds like you were maybe like holding on to something and they were helping you. They were giving you a hand to pull you up. So in this case, yeah. Flora, you had a question.
No, teacher, it's about the next word, the
Oh,
get
okay.
out of.
Okay. Tell us. What can you tell us?
Okay, yeah. I think it's when you have you don't have a control about some situation.
That is correct. So in this case, what would be something that might get out of hand? What do you think?
Get out of control.
Yeah. So what do you think? What would be examples of things that get out of control?
When we have a party and the kids are get out of control, they are jumping in the in every.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you come in and they're on the couch, standing on the bed, standing on the table. That sounds like pretty much a normal party, though, doesn't it, Carmen? I mean,
I don't know because I don't have a lot of parties right now, but I saw some videos or movies, and the kids are out of control.
that's right. Well, of course, it would be a boring movie if the kids are just normal, nice. I mean, that would be like a 10-minute movie, right? I mean, that's not really an interesting movie if they're just pleasant and nice and follow directions, right? That's not very interesting. Yeah. So in this case, yes, when something gets out of hand, it gets out of control. All right. What about the last one? If we have our hands full.
When somebody is busy,
Yeah. I think Fatima said this is something she's heard a lot. Is that right, Fatima? That's what you said that, right?
Yes, it takes me 3 or 4 times to understand me.
Well, so right now, is this describing you at this moment? It sounds like
Yes.
your hands are full now. Yes.
It's me. This expression, it's me. When you hear it, remember me.
Okay, so everyone, next time we will go to a dictionary. We'll see a picture of Fatima next to this expression.
Hands full.
There you go. Brenda, is that you too, Brenda? Your hands full right now?
No, I only want to ask if have your hands full is when, for example, you have a lot of things to do, like maybe you go with when I talk for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She go to the college, and she have to work,
Yeah.
and she have is in one sorority, and too many things. I told her you need to have a less thing, because
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's a perfect example. That's a perfect example. Yeah, we were describing earlier. It doesn't have to be at the second. You know, at the second, your hands don't have to be full. It's
Okay.
talking about, yeah, it's just describing the fact that you're busy. And we especially use it like in what you just described. Like maybe at this time of her life, she's got lots of things going on at the same time. So
And-
yes.
in Spanish, I have one word or one thing to say. If you serve too many gods,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
do anything. And nothing at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, we have a similar expression in English, though I don't think we use it as much anymore. But
Yeah.
you're serving too many things. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
trying to serve. Yeah. So I think that's a good example. But yeah, your hands are full. So now, of course, we could use it at the moment too. Like if you're carrying something, you might say, "Oh, your hands are full." But we can use it also just to describe our lives. So I know for some of you, especially those of you maybe whose kids are going to graduate school, maybe they're thinking about going to college or some other activity. That's a good example. So, okay, excellent. Well, again, we didn't complete our word list officially, so now we have. So again, when we're finished here today, I will share this complete list one more time. But guys, really, I just want to remind everybody that vocabulary is best used when we try to use it. Okay, so again, I cannot follow you around. I can't sit with you at your breakfast table or dinner table and make sure that you're using these words. You have to try to find a way to use these words in your everyday life. Okay, that's important. The more we use words, the more we'll remember them, right? The more they'll stay up here in our brains. Now, of course, we can continue practicing using them in class. So that's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to return to our presentation. Let's talk about this first breakout room activity. So in our last class, some of you might remember on Tuesday, we read about two people who were unhappy in their jobs, and we discussed some career options for them. Some of you suggested, for example, that they can go back to school or get more training and so on. So we're going to continue with that same idea. We're going to see one more person who would like to change careers. However, I've changed the rules a little bit of this exercise. This time you and your partner will complete the following sentences in response to the person's situation. So what I tried to do in this exercise is use some of our new vocabulary words and have you kind of complete the idea with those new words. Now, let's do an example, okay? So first off, I want to share with you who the person is. So take a look here. Let me move this down for just a moment. Okay, so it says Farah, so that's Farah right there, is a receptionist in a doctor's office. She likes the work environment and she enjoys interacting with the doctors and the patients. But she's bored in her position. She'd like a job that is more challenging. Okay. Now she seems like a happy person there. She seems pretty pleasant, but she wants a new sort of opportunity. Okay. So for example, I've started a sentence here, and what I'd like to do is get everyone to kind of think about how could we finish this sentence. So for example, if Farah doesn't like her working conditions, right? So there's one of our new words. She should. Okay. Now here's what I'd like for you to do, just as a little practice here. Go to the chat right now. Everyone go to the chat. How would you complete that sentence? How would you complete it? Just give her some advice. So right now, just go to the chat and complete the sentence. So if she doesn't like her working conditions, she should, and then put your response. Okay, so I'll give you a minute or two. Put what you think she should do. Now this is just kind of our example, right? Our introduction to this. So take a moment. Put your response in the chat. Okay, all right, so there's a good one. Okay, some of you may say the same thing. That's fine. Okay, look for that job. Back to school. Okay, all right, Brenda changed jobs. Okay. Okay, all right. I see some similar responses. I think this is all very good advice. Okay. All right. So I see again, talking to supervisor, changing jobs, going back to school. Okay. Anyone have a different thought, or these look pretty good choices? Any other thoughts? No? Okay. All right. I think these are good responses. I think these are all appropriate. Yeah, maybe try to find another opportunity. Maybe she could also try to expand her current position. You know, for example, maybe she should try to find other things that she could add to her particular responsibilities. That's a possibility. You know, just because you're a receptionist doesn't mean that you just do the same things. You might suggest some other possibilities. Of course, you still have to talk to the supervisor about that, right? That's a good idea. But I think in this case, I think we've given some good advice. All right, now, here's what we're going to do. So again, we're going to return to the breakout rooms. I'm going to change the groups just a little bit, but I'm going to share this slide. Okay, so this slide here has, again, Farah. So again, the idea is Farah wants to change, or perhaps, you know, is bored in her job. So if you look at the 4 options I've listed here, each one contains one of our new vocabulary words. And again, give you an opportunity to talk a little bit more with your partner. And again, maybe we agree, maybe we disagree, but you're welcome to kind of explain a little bit more what you think Farah should do in this situation. Now, we're going to take again about, probably 5 to 7 minutes, maybe a little bit more. We'll see how we do, and then come back and share some of our answers with each other. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and we're going to return to the breakout room, but I'm going to change the groups just a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right, guys, our groups are ready. So when you go into the breakout room, I will come in and share the slide that you just saw there. And then give us, again, about 5-7 minutes to discuss those. Okay, I think everyone has returned. I hope we got through all 4 of the sentences. So I'm going to call on different students to read the sentence there and tell us maybe what you thought, and then other people can answer as well. So Ezra, would you like to read number 1 for us?
Okay. Maybe Farah feels her skills are outdated. she should be proactive and
So what do you think, Ezra? And
succeed.
and succeed. Okay.
Yeah.
But what should she do to help improve her skills? If her skills are outdated, what do you think she should do? Do you think she should maybe go back to school?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. So maybe going back to school might be an option. Okay. All right. Let's hear from some other people. What do you guys think for number one there? Zaliha, what do you think?
She should be proactive and explore different field,
So you think maybe that her
different job.
so maybe her position is not going to give her more opportunities, so she should just look somewhere else, you think?
Because her skills are outdated. So yeah, she should be. She should. Yeah, you said go back school, or she can get some training programs.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah, I
then
mean,
change her job options. Different. She can try different fields.
yeah, I mean, so one thing to think about, and actually, Zaliha, you might be a good example of this. You know, in a doctor's office, I mean, how many different positions are there? You know, if you're a receptionist, for example,
Not too much.
yeah, you're probably not going to. The doctor's not going to say, "Hey, you're the receptionist. Come help me with this patient." You know.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
maybe
totally different.
yeah, so maybe if she feels like her skills are outdated, remember that's what it says. She feels her skills are outdated. So maybe she should go back, get some training. Yeah, something like that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Zaliha. Miriam, would you like to read number 2 for us?
Okay. Maybe Farah is having difficulty adjusting to her current position and should talk to her boss. She should say,
What do you think? What do you think she should say?
she said maybe she have a communication problem, and the other is she needs more time to understand what is her job.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe she feels like she's not getting good direction from the boss. So maybe help give us more direction and give us more understanding of the position.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, in fact, notice when we were, let me go back for just a moment in the description. It says she likes the environment, she enjoys interacting with patients. But if you notice, it doesn't tell us how long she's been working there, right? I mean, we don't know. Maybe she's only been there for a short time. So maybe that's part of the problem too. Her boss should give her more direction. That's a good point, Miriam. We forgot about that. Okay. All right. Anyone else have a thought for number 2? Yeah. What do you think, Flor?
Yeah, maybe say, I need others opportunity. Can you give me one opportunity? I think I have others attitudes,
Skills?
skills, sorry.
Yeah, so maybe she feels like I can do more here. Yeah, I'm just answering the phone and talking to patients. Maybe I can do something else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly a good opportunity to ask. Now, the boss might say no, and then that's it. So, but at least we can ask. Okay. All right. Well, thank you there, Flor. All right. Let's look at number 3. So, Brenda, would you like to read number 3 for us?
Yes. Another possibility is that Farah should explore other career options, such as for new career.
Well, for example, she's a receptionist in a doctor's office. So, what do you think might be?
Nurse.
Okay. So maybe going back to school.
Yeah.
Learning how to be a nurse. Okay. All right. So maybe she should try to go back to school and do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have any thoughts? Should she be a receptionist somewhere else? Maybe that's the problem. I mean, what do you guys think? Think about her skills. What do you think her skills might be?
Sometimes it's like there is a dental center that I visit. There is the ones that's in the reception, but there is other ones who like go with the patient, settle him in the room, or talk to the patient, or talk to the kids, tell the doctor come, or it's like she is helping him to put the tools or to move the machine that he works with. So
Okay.
it's a kind of, it doesn't need a certificate, but it's a change.
So for example, maybe one thing we're thinking is that receptionist, maybe we think a receptionist is someone just answering the phone, but maybe a receptionist does lots of other things, right?
Yes, yes.
Working with insurance companies, for example, or working with the
Exactly.
patients.
Yeah.
Now, the truth, though, Fatima, is it might require another certificate. It might. I mean, for example, insurance, working with insurance and working with computers.
It needs.
Yeah, it's probably
Because
pretty.
there is some kind of code that you need to
Yeah.
know, and in order to work in this position, you need
Well-
a certificate.
Well, let's ask the class. What do we call that class when you have to work with insurance information and coding and things like that? Does anybody know what that's called?
I used to know it, but I forget. It's yes, but I really because I didn't know that it needs certificates until my husband tell me that there is a name for that one, and there is a coding that you need to know in order to work with insurance.
Okay, so you got the right idea. I'll give you a hint. So it starts with an M.
Is maybe master.
Well, that's probably like almost too high, I think, for this type of discussion. So I'll give you a hint. I'll give you the first few letters, okay? I gave you the first few letters.
Medical billing.
billing.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Medical billing. Now, for example, where I work at the community college here at Gateway, there are positions that deal with this sort of information technology, medical coding, medical billing, very much what you just described, Fatima. So in this case, yes, in the United States, that is a certificate program. And I think this receptionist, maybe that's one thing this receptionist might do, is maybe think about going back and getting a certificate of some kind. That might also give her more opportunities at her current job. Again, we don't know, but that's probably something to think about. Okay, so Fatima, I think you're in the right direction there. All right. Okay, well, class, let's everybody think about number 4. So in your opinion, what do you think Farah should eventually do? So eventually Farah should do what? If in your opinion, what should she do? Stay at her current job, look for another one, go back to school, play the lottery? What do you think, Fatima?
I think that she should go back to school, and I have an idea that I got from my ex-boss.
Okay.
Where I was working. She is a manager, a store manager, and she studied something about management and those kind of things.
Okay.
And then she told me that she works as I don't remember, something in a hospital, just
Right.
Saturday and Sunday. And they tell her, do you just go and work? She said, no, I have a certificate. And they say, how did you do that? She said, I gonna not just put my life in risk. I have a certificate in management,
Mhm.
and I did another one in medical. I don't know, medical something, because we don't know if those kind of management things gonna live for a long time. So maybe if there is a problem in the industry,
Mhm.
I may find a job in the medical. I mean. Part.
Well-
So she got 2 certificates, and it's like that's also because there is no relationship between the both in a store. I know there is a pharmacy, but she is not in the pharmacy.
Right. Right.
Having a store, having a certificate in management and having a certificate in medical thingy, it's a good thing, because if you feel boring of having this job, you can change at any time. And if I don't have my hands full, I'm gonna also do the same, because
Okay, okay.
the more you get more certificate, the more you have more opportunities to get better job.
Well, I definitely agree with the point you made about, that management, business management, and working in the medical industries. I think traditionally people thought of those as two very different areas. And I agree. More and more programs are trying to find ways to put those two things together. So yes, medical management, managing medical systems. This is definitely becoming a much more common thing. So that's a very good point, Fatima. So I think that's a good advice for everybody here in the class, right? Think about being flexible. So, but certainly certificate programs are not as expensive as, getting another 4-year degree. Many of you are professionals, or maybe you've been professionals before. So yeah, that's a good thing to think about. So Fatima, I like that. Zaliha, you were going to say something? You had something to say? Yes, please.
Yes, I was gonna say, for eventually should, get some training or certificate program
Mhm.
for different opportunities, job. So I always like that when I see something like, oh, my job is boring, like that. I was like Farah when I was in Turkey. I never say boring because it wasn't boring. I was so active, like the nursing is hard everywhere. I believe that, but it was making me very tired. Like that,
Sure.
I was like that. Oh my God, it's making me so tired. I'm so busy. Blah 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 blah. But now. Maybe I can say to Farah, thanks God, because you have a job.
Right. Okay. Now you I change opinions here. I say, okay.
Because now I was like that. Oh my God. Uh, uh, I was talking about too much about my job, but
Right.
now I can understand it was really important for me.
Sure. Well, sure. But I think
I'm just kidding.
well, but I
Yeah.
think but I also do think, Zaliha, you make a good point for all of us here. We're not, we're not in our 20s anymore, right? Many of us are
Yes.
parents. Many of us have responsibilities. I think Fatima made a good point too. Certificate programs are not long programs. Of course, they do require time, and some of you may not be ready for that at the moment. But I do like what you're saying. I think traditionally we think, oh, nurse or doctor or these types of positions. But I think the point to make about Farah and her situation, being a receptionist is not just answering the phone. I think we can understand that being a receptionist is much more complicated today, especially in a medical office.
Yes,
You have to know.
she has to manage every appointment. She has to call back because we are having call back from doctor office. They change schedule. Yeah, it can be everything. They have to reach everybody. They have to send mail for information. Yeah, it's really too
Yeah,
much.
and many of them now have to manage medical files, medical billing. Everything is online. Yes.
Yes,
So
online.
yeah, but I think that
Computer
also,
skill.
yeah,
They know.
and I think that gives everyone here, something to think about. That yes, I don't have to be a medical expert to work in this area. And honestly, class, I think we can agree that when we think about the future, right, the future of careers, medical careers are probably still going to continue to increase. They're still going to grow because our population's getting older. We're needing more healthcare people, not just nurses. We need nurses, we need doctors, but also people working in the medical industries. So that's
Medical industry never never dies.
yeah. And it's as we get older, the industry has to grow.
Because if there's a person in the world earth, need a doctor or a
Yeah.
hospital
Sure.
or and
I mean,
the others employment in hospital, everything.
yeah,
you know.
and really, unless you're living in a very poor area or a very rural, remote area, really, if you drive anywhere around the United States today, you'll see the only new really big growth is in building regional hospitals and regional medical centers.
Yes.
I see them
yes.
everywhere where I go. So I think that's a good thing to think about, Zaliha. That there's still growth opportunity. Okay, now thank you, Zaliha. So Miriam said maybe change jobs, try a different position. I think these are all good options. Okay, anyone else have any thoughts about Farah? What do you think Farah should do? Eventually, Farah should do what? Anybody else have any thoughts? So we've talked about going back to school, getting a certificate, maybe changing jobs. Does anyone think Farah should just stay at this job? And maybe Farah just needs a little more time, or do you think she's going to be bored forever? I don't know. What do you think? We don't know how long she's been at this job, do we? I mean, think about it. Do you think people stay in jobs very long anymore? What do you think, Flora?
Okay, maybe take night classes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a good option and have a experience. And before that, taking others opportunity in others companies.
Well, certainly online is a big choice now. So certainly
Yeah.
she could do online programming. Okay. Yeah, I think we can understand that her options are very different today. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Carmen, any other thoughts?
Yeah, I think Farah should be stay in that position because we all don't have the same conditions in our lives, and she should try in the future maybe.
So, for example, maybe she could go back to school while she's still staying at this current job.
No, maybe she should try another career different.
I got you. Okay. I mean, I think what's different today, maybe from our parents' generation or grandparents, I think most people don't really stay in their positions for more than maybe 5 years. I think that's really the case. 5, 7 years. I think we see a lot of people change at that point. Now, I'm kind of different. I've pretty much been in the same position since 1999. So I've been in this job, gosh, what is that, 25 years now? Wow. So I think teachers maybe are a little different, but honestly, I think the reality is 5 to 7 years is probably the maximum, right? I mean, I think most people change after that. So, okay. Well, guys, I hope this was a good exercise for us to put these new vocabulary words to use, but also to think about our futures. So I do want to, as we move to our final activity for the morning, I do want to remind everybody that if you're thinking of some changes or wanting to move and think about moving on in your career or finding a job or going back to school, of course, you can always ask me, and I can try to help as much as I can with giving information. So, of course, I do want to remind everybody that we're certainly not telling you that you need to leave or that you need to go, but I will often encourage students to think about their future possibilities because, of course, we don't want students to stay with us forever, right? We want students to feel like they're ready to move on to the next step. But, of course, I think you have to decide when that's going to be. So I just want to remind everybody of that. Okay, well, guys, we have time to finish with a little game. So this is a game that maybe you've played before, but it's called Bingo. Now, I'm going to click on this link just to show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to share a link in the chat, okay? All right, now, as you see here on the screen, we have lots of words, okay? Lots of words. These are all vocabulary words that we have learned in this session. Now, the way the game works, okay, this is the way the game works, is that when I share this link with you, you're going to click on the link, and if you're using your phone or computer, it should open for you, no problem. But the idea is I'm going to describe one of the vocabulary words on your card, and what you have to do is you can use your finger. So, for example, if you're using your phone, you can just tap on the screen, or if you're using your computer, you can use the mouse. But the idea is if I describe a word and you think I'm describing this word, you would click, right, on the square. Okay. Now, the idea here is this. If you get all of the words in a row, or if you get all of the words diagonally, like up and down, like this, or if you get words like this, then you will say bingo. And then what you will do is report back to me, and you'll tell me which words you chose, and I will tell you if you're correct, if I describe those words. Now, remember, everyone's card is going to look different. You'll have the same words, but the words will be in different places on your card. Okay, so the idea is that some of you may get bingo at the same time, other people maybe not. But we're going to say who gets bingo first, and then we'll see how much time we have if we have time to continue playing. But that's how the game works. Okay, and so in just a moment, I'm going to share this link in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to share this link in the chat. So everyone, you can click on the link here. Give me just a second. It's a very long link. So let's make sure it works. This was a problem I had last time when I tried to play this game. Okay, so everyone, can you click on the link in the chat right now and see if the card opens for you? Okay, now you'll kind of have to go back between the Google Meet and the card. You can use your microphone, of course, to communicate with me. Okay. All right, so is everyone's card opened?
Yes. For me,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'm
Vladimir,
good.
good. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, good. Okay, so here's how it works. I'm going to give a definition. Now, do not use your microphones, guys. Don't say the word, because then you're helping other people. Okay, so just look at your card, right? Look at your bingo card, and if you think I'm describing your word, just click on your screen or use your mouse. And remember, if you get all of the words across, diagonally, or up and down, say bingo. Okay, that's the idea. That's how the game works. All right, so I'm going to begin. And again, I got my own card that I'm going to use. Okay, so guys, I'm going to begin, and I'm going to describe a word, and then I'll move on to the next word, and then so on. And then when you're finished, I'll ask you to read back the definition, the words. All right, so let me get my card ready so I can see you guys and the card at the same time. Okay, all right, so I can see you guys there. All right, there we go. Okay, guys, so here is the first one. Okay, so this expression means when you get a raise in pay, or perhaps a higher position in a company. So this word means a raise in pay, like more money, and a higher position in a company. Okay. All right, the next word I'm going to describe, this word means to depend on or to rely on something. So this word means to depend on or to rely on something. Okay. All right, this next one means something that is no longer needed or no longer useful today. So maybe in the past it was useful and it worked, but maybe today it's not necessary or no longer working anymore. Okay. All right, our next expression. This was an idea I taught in the class, talking about how words work together. And we said that these are created either by culture or they're created by logic. So for example, a red fire engine or hamburger and French fries. These were examples. So again, this was a word I taught describing how language works together in a natural way. We said they're created by culture or they're created by logic. So for example, hamburger and French fries or red fire engine. Okay, the next is an expression. This expression means when something is not or out of control. When something goes out of control. Okay. All right, the next one. This word means like choice. So this word means choice, like a choice. Okay. All right. This next one is a word that means easy to guess about something that's going to happen in the future because you have experience with it and you know it's going to happen. Okay, so again, this word means easy to guess about something that's going to happen in the future because you have experience with it. Okay, the next word is similar to always or repeatedly. Always or repeatedly. Okay, no bingos yet? No bingos? Okay. All right. Okay, the next word, this word is the opposite of the word top. So when something is at the top, this is the opposite. So the word top of something is the opposite of this word. Okay. All right, the next word is if you are a criminal and you are caught by the police, they do this to you with a crime. So if you are a criminal and you were caught by the police, they would do this to you with a crime. No bingos yet? Okay. All right, this next word means to make a change to a new situation. To make a change to a new situation. Okay, the next word means to be busy at the moment or to be busy with something in this point in your life. Okay, Flora, you think you got bingo?
I think so.
All right, Flora, can you tell me your words?
Okay, give me 1 second for open the link. Oh my God, I think, okay. Update, count on, constantly promotion, or get off the hands.
Oh, too fast, too fast. Try it again.
Oh, sorry.
Slower.
Oh, but maybe change the options.
That's okay. You chose them. Say it again. You said outdated.
I think so. Count on, constantly promotion, or get out hand.
And you said outdated too. Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay. Congratulations, Floor. You are our first bingo winner. Now we're going to continue playing. We got about
Okay.
3 minutes. All right. So congratulations, Floor. All right. So let's continue, class. All right. So the next word is this is another idea that I've been teaching in the class. These are groups of words that make sense only in a specific language, and you cannot translate them from one language to another word by word. So this is something I taught in class. We've been learning in class words that cannot be translated from one language to another, and they make sense only in that language. Okay. All right. The next one is to see something directly or to feel something directly. So that means not somebody else describing it to you, but you feel this directly.
Bingo.
All right, Carmen, let's hear it. Which words did you choose?
Experience firsthand, have hands full,
Good.
free space, promotion, and get out of hand.
Congratulations. We have our second bingo. All right, guys, we're going to play for 1 more minute. Let's see if we can get 1 more bingo. Okay. All right. So here is the next one. This word means to look for or to consider or to find. So we might use this when thinking about career options, for example. So this word means to look for, to find, to consider. Okay.
I think bingo.
You think so? Let's hear it, Brenda.
Okay. Explore.
Okay.
Options.
Okay.
Free space.
Yeah.
Outdated.
Okay.
Unpredictable.
And predictable. Congratulations, Brenda. You are our third bingo winner. All right. Now, I know, Mr. You're probably thinking, Mr. John, I'm so close. Well, let me show you right now, guys, real quickly. I'm going to show you my board. You can check and see if maybe you did get a bingo, but maybe you just didn't know it. So take a look, guys. Here are the words I described here this morning. So I'll zoom in a little bit, see if we can see it. So co-location, option. These were, okay. I described adjust, get out of hand, promotion, idiomatic expression, constantly, have your hands full, count on, experience firsthand, be charged with, right? That was the criminal one, okay? Bottom, predictable, explore, and outdated. So maybe some of you missed 1 or 2. Maybe you could have had a bingo, but anyway, again, that's the whole point of bingo, right? You got to catch it at the moment. So, all right. Well, guys, I'm going to switch over just to finish up here for the morning. So, first off, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Okay. Okay, so I did send you a homework activity last class, so please try to complete it by next week. Now, everybody, real quickly, I want you to notice we will not have class next Tuesday morning. Okay, so no class next Tuesday morning. So our next class for this class will be Thursday, May 9th. Okay, now don't worry, I'll send you a reminder, but there will be no morning class next Tuesday. Okay? So, guys, thank you so much, and I'll send you the list of our vocabulary words. So, but everybody have a great weekend. First off, everyone, let's wish Carmen good luck. So, Carmen, good luck on the race.
Thank you.
So, I'm sure you'll do us proud. So, all right, guys, thank you so much.